And we are live. So happy Thursday, everybody. And hope you're all ready for the festive silly season. Hence my wonderful jumper. It won't be a Christmas style video or webinar without a stupid Christmas jumper. I was going to wear a Santa hat, but you won't get to see my wonderful curly hair. So the idea behind this webinar or this talking head from me is just to give you some thoughts and tips and pointers around how to survive, or I would say thrive, during silly season. Now, before we get into it, a more meta principle here, which I'll touch on again, is that if you've got your shit together for the other, 11 months of the year, and day to day, your BAU, business as usual, for your own physical and mental well-being is sorted, you don't have to fucking worry about silly season, because you have your shit together anyway. And a little bit of overindulgence in certain areas doesn't matter, because you've got the tools, habits, behaviors to serve you and balance things out. That's exactly what I do in the 1% with my coaching programs and the guys that I work with. And so having our shit together basically 24/7, 365 means that we can indulge, relax, and enjoy ourselves. And Christmas or holidays or whatever, these fun events aren't seen as some horrible battle to overcome. Actually, you can get stuck in, enjoy yourself without any shame or guilt or worry, because most of the time you've got your habits, behaviors, physically, mentally, emotionally, you're all together. So you can indulge and it's no big deal. So that's a good overarching principle. Because equally, if you're having to go absolutely hell for leather during Christmas, and you can't, you're almost looking forward to going nuts and just going absolutely balls deep, living like Henry VIII, going absolutely mental. Well, actually, I would challenge that you've probably got stuff not set up elsewhere that you feel you need to get so fucked up and battered and indulge and all the rest of it. Because if you're feeling pretty good, you don't need to oscillate between this complete, Henry VIII or monk mode, come the 1st of January. So that's an overall principle to address. So a couple of comments, questions and themes that often come up this time of year, both from my clients and gents that I talk to, and ladies as well. So the first concept here: man at night, man in the morning. What does this mean? Well, this phrase, actually, I got it off my mum, and it's quite a stoic phrase. And it's from when I was younger. And let's say I was back in the day working at McDonald's, gone out and got pissed. I was 16, 17, and I'd wake up with a hangover. And, can't be arsed, don't want to go in. She got man at night, man in the morning. I.e., if you're big enough and hard enough to go out and get smashed, well, then you've got to own your responsibilities the following day. Now, this is a principle, doesn't apply just at Christmas, but it's more visceral at this time of year. Because, if you're going to go out, get stuck in at a client event, Christmas do, with your friends, whatever, get smashed, eat a load of shit, well, it'd be crazy to expect you're going to feel fantastic the following day. But that's the decision, right? That's a choice. You're choosing to get smashed and eat a load of shit, well, you're choosing to feel the consequences the following day. Inherently, there's nothing actually wrong with that. It's about how you choose to react and deal with that situation the following day. And so if you're going to go out and give it big guns, well, then the following day, it's about owning those decisions. No one put the fucking beers or the red wine or the mulled wine in your hands, right? You did that. You made that choice. So if you're choosing to get pissed, you're choosing the hangover. And that's also okay. So it's about what you do the following day to address that. Don't wake up and blame the universe and surprise. Oh my God, I feel shit. Wonder why that is. Because you got fucked up last night. It's pretty standard. So the man at night, man in the morning concept, and this is something that I run with my clients, I think it's an easy one to apply. It's like, well, if you're going to go and do the thing in the evening, indulge, well, recognize it's going to have consequences. Then recognize how you want to address that in the daytime or the following day. And it's a relatively simple heuristic. Now, again, if you've got your habits and behaviors in check and in line day to day, you know what you need to do to go ahead and address that, right? Because you've got a framework of behaviors that can counter that. Now, you might not want to because you're feeling a bit shit or a bit tired and you had less sleep because you haven't slept as well because you got pissed and you got in late. That's all true. But ultimately, it comes down to, well, I've got a behavior and a structure here that serves me in the morning. Am I going to do it anyway? And the man at night, man in the morning thing is, yes, you fucking do. And so that's a simple concept. Just because you've gone out and done X, Y, and Z, doesn't mean you can't do the things that you know you need to do. Now, the problem might lie in you don't know what you need to do. That's where someone like me comes in and how I can help. But equally, if you've got a framework of habits and behaviors, just because you got pissed doesn't negate you doing them. Well, I'm really tired and I woke up late because I got in so late. Okay, well, you can still do something. And it's about applying that rigor and logic to yourself. And that feeds into the next part, which is, might sound crazy, like getting pissed and being greedy with intentionality, which kind of feeds into that. Right? So, and this has come up a few times in current client calls at the moment, and it happens all year round, but especially during silly season. And it's this: if you're going out with an expectation, it's like, oh, I'm going to be quote unquote good tonight, whatever that means. Now, in my past and history, I've got certain friends and certain situations where there's no fucking way I'm going to be good, right? I'm going to drink far too much. I'm going to eat far too much. I'm going to overindulge. Pretending otherwise is just foolish. So going into a situation like that, where you say, oh yeah, I'm going to be good and have a couple of drinks, I'm going to go home and have an early night, when you know full fucking well you're not, well, you're just deceiving yourself. Then when you wake up the next day and your head's killing, you feel shit, you fuck a load of shame because you got pissed when you said you wouldn't. And then also you've eaten a load of crap, so you might step on the scales if you're looking after your weight, and then you see that's gone up and you feel really bad. Had you gone, you know what, I'm going to go fucking hell for leather tonight. I'm going to get smashed. I'm going to feel shit tomorrow. I'm cool with that. And I'm going to own those consequences like man in the morning. And I'm going to deal with that. The reality is the same. You're still gone out and got pissed. You still feel shit, but you're not in this self-deprecating, beating yourself up, shameful state. And so you can get on top of your habits and own it. And then it's just a small infraction for a day, even less than that. And even if you go, I'm having a massive night tonight, and I know tomorrow I'm probably not going to get up and exercise, and actually I'm probably going to eat a load of shit. Commit to that, do it, own it, enjoy it. It's one fucking day. In the grand scheme of things, again, you've got your habits, your behaviors, routine and structure, all the good self-care elements in check normally. It doesn't matter. You can do that. And then the following day, back to normal, we crack on, get on with what you're doing. It's like a little brief 36-hour hiatus of indulgence. And that's totally cool. And if you just committed to that and said you're going to do that, you don't even feel bad about it. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with things like that in isolation. If that's every fucking day, we've probably got a problem, but it isn't. And that's okay. So again, it's about being more intentional about what you do. And then if you're more intentional about what you do, what that can do is that mean you really decide the nights that you want to go big and hard. And do you really need to actually go hell for leather at every single occasion? And I challenge not. And that's not about being a fucking party pooper or a monk. I have got so much previous when it comes to Christmas and going out. My Christmases used to be basically from January the 1st, especially when I used to work in agency landing accounts, clients out every night, smashed, friends, everything, smoking as well, and asthmatic. And so I'd end Chris silly season like half dead with a fucking chest infection done in. Well, that's just how it has to be. Does it? Like, and actually at the end of it, it's not that fun. You're just a pickled fucking, asthmatic mess in my case. So there is a balance to be struck. And so those big indulgent nights, there's nothing wrong with those. It just doesn't have to be every single day. And you can make a call and an assessment as to what's important. And yet again, if you're taking care of yourself normally, you've got your habits, behaviors in check, you're feeling good about yourself because you've got a good work-life balance, you're exercising regularly, you're eating healthily most of the time, you're in a good headspace. When you go out and get walloped, you really fucking feel that. There's a big oscillation. And so you go, you know what? I'm feeling great most days. I don't want to be feeling like that all the time. And so you make a decision and intentionally as to what you want to do. And that feeds quite nicely into the next bit. I have loads of clients, the gents that I work with, often either working in the city boys, there's finance stuff, so they're out with clients all the time, business owners that have got to take the clients out, wherever they're at in the careers, there's often a lot of client entertainment. And so there's this narrative that, okay, well, because it's a client event, I've got to get smashed every single one, and I've got to eat like a bell end because I've got to show them that I can indulge. Is that true? Is it really true? And in my experience, when you start to challenge that, it isn't. There might be some certain clients where, okay, it's expected. But if you tell yourself that's what it is, it will be that. In my experience, I deal with guys who are pretty successful, very senior in where they're at, and they've told me this narrative. And then they've gone and challenged it and gone, okay, well, how's about just go to this one client event? Okay, let's say you don't drink at this one client event that's so important, right? Will you lose a client? No. Will your business implode? No. Will you lose face? Maybe. Would you reckon you could just try it? Just try it for one? And if it all goes wrong, that's fine. Then you have to get pissed at every other one. They go and try it and go, oh, it's really interesting. Actually, what happened was people were really interested as to why I was on the non-alcoholic beers. We had a really great conversation. I didn't feel shit. I noticed how drunk everyone else was and I felt quite good about it. And actually, it's deep in my relationship with one of my clients. Oh, so maybe you don't have to. Now, that's not this polarized saying, well, then I have to not drink any and I'm a monk. No, that's not what we're saying. But if you've got 5-6 events in a week, right, do you have to get battered and eat like a cunt at every single one? I think we both know, and we all know that's not the case. So it's just again about being intentional. Well, maybe there's 2 there or there's 3. Well, that's better than all of them, right? And then you can still go to the other ones and enjoy yourself, but you can show yourself you don't have to get smashed and battered at all of them. And it's this often a story we tell ourselves. And depending on where you're at and what age you are, typically the gents I work with, late 30s all the way to sort of mid 50s, even early 60s, like we're at a slightly different stage in our lives where if you're in your early 20s, I'm not drinking, you're like, what the fuck? But you're not there anymore. And actually, I think you'll find your peers will respect more you being intentional around your drinking and why. And, I'm sure there's exceptions in different industries. There are exceptions. But in my experience, once you start challenging that, you actually get a lot of positive feedback, not what we think. So This is, I'm talking about clients there, but that can be anything. So again, it's just being more structured and intentional around it. Now, something that comes up is like, have you got any hacks for when you drink? Like, oh, have a glass of water every other drink. Fuck that. That's not fun. I won't want to do that. Then so it's like if you're going to drink and enjoy yourself, how you team enjoy yourself, drink like you want to and enjoy it. And looping back to the intentionality and the man at night, man in the morning, just face the consequences. Like, drinking a glass of water every third drink, great idea. Try that in practice. Doesn't really happen, right? You might be able to throw in an alcoholic beer if you're just on the beers or something like that. You could do, but really, it's like if it's your night out, enjoy it, get stuck in, and again, own what happens the following day. And the ones that you don't, but also own that and lean into it and enjoy that as well. Because what you'll find is you can go out, not get fucked, see clients, and actually enjoy it and do really well within the situation. One that just came up, a random one. What's the best Christmas film of all time? In my opinion, there's two: Home Alone and Muppets Christmas Carol. Challenge me on that in the comments. For me, the best. I mean, technically Die Hard, there's always an argument of whether that's a Christmas film, but for me, yeah, it's Home Alone and Muppets Christmas Carol by a country mile. So, and this is again a common theme, as you notice from what I've been talking about throughout this. There's a common theme here, which is there's nothing wrong with a bit of greed and gluttony, right? As long as it's counterbalanced with good, healthy habits. Because, like, I like to overindulge and eat. I don't drink anymore. It's a conscious decision I made for myself 15 months ago for some of the reasons that have been sort of highlighted in here. And that's my choice. I believe most people can have a healthy balance around alcohol. I'm just somebody who can't. And so I made a decision around that. When it comes to food and eating tasty stuff and indulgence, I love all that. And just because I'm a coach, life coach, performance coach, there is a fitness aspect. Do I eat and live like a monk? Do I fuck? I love tasty, indulgent foods. But equally, I don't want to look like a fat diabetic mess at the end of Christmas or day to day. I take pride in my appearance and how I look and how I feel and how I operate and how I show up. And so indulgence is totally fine, but it's, again, like anything, it's counterbalanced. And so if Christmas is just an endurance test of fucking mince pies, mulled wine, booze and all the rest of it, and at the end of it, you're like, it's a bit of a pickled mess. Well, part of me is just say, why? Like, we can go out and indulge and enjoy it, but if it's counterbalanced with things that make you feel, look, and operate healthily, well, then you don't need this huge oscillation between like, oh, it's silly season, I can go fucking mental away, and actually at the end of it, you feel ashamed, you're a mess, you're knackered. January the 1st, you're fucking clinging on by the skin of your teeth because you're feeling like death. Like, I don't think that's a healthy way to operate. And as I'm hopefully coming across here, I'm not sort of promoting, living like a monk or counting calories over silly season or any sort of restriction. It's more like if you've got your stuff together day to day, habitually, behaviorally, when it comes to exercise, when it comes to nutrition, when your mindset, your structure, your balance, your general healthy habits, well, those things will take care of yourself day to day, both during silly season and not. If there's little peaks of greed, gluttony, indulgence, that's cool. Because that's only like a small night or two in isolation, then bang, you just get back to it. And if your day-to-day BAU makes you look good, feel good, show up as you want, why would you want to kibosh that? Yeah, you might want a bit of indulgence, but it's not if the way your life's set up correctly and how I promote habits and behaviors and showing up as quote unquote our best, not hanging on to some crazy plan where I'm living like a monk. So no, I'm doing shit in my life that makes me look good, feel good, show up as the best dad, best husband, operate my business well. I want to keep doing more of that. Now, every now and again, there's a pocket of like, let's fucking relax and enjoy yourself. Totally. But you don't need all that all the time. And so if you've got your habits and behaviors in place and together, well, then you can, Christmas comes up and you know what you need to do. Holidays come up, you know what you need to do. It's like, I hate the way that people, and some of my clients say this at the start, oh, I've got a birthday coming, I've got a stag do coming, I've got so that's fucking life. Hopefully, in the future, if you're not working with a coach or someone else, you're going to have these things in the future. Like, you're going to have lots of Christmases, you're going to have fun stag do's, you're going to have fun weddings, you're going to have holidays. That's the rich tapestry of life. That's what life's about. And if you're fucking fearful of that stuff and scared of it, it just shows me that you haven't got your shit together day to day. Because if you have, you go, oh, nice one, it's a holiday. And ultimately, what the hack is for Christmas, it's the same shit you do throughout the year. You just have certain levers and habits and behaviors that you pull and lean on a little bit harder. So overindulge. Right, well, for a couple of days, we might just tighten things up a little bit to balance things out. And of course, there's practical things around like fasting and long fasts and how you can structure how you eat around with carb timing and, getting steps in and cold showers in the morning and all these great habits. But they're not just for fucking Christmas. They're for life. They're every fucking day. And if you've got all that together, well, then you can just lean on that and it takes care of you. And so the whole point being, if you've got your shit together, you can relax at Christmas and enjoy yourself. You don't even think about it. All the guys in my program, all of them, both the Blueprint and the Collective, which is the ongoing program of accountability and support, they're all like, oh, I can't wait for Christmas. I'm going to love it, enjoy it. I can't wait for the 1st of January because the first time for the guys who've been in the program haven't come through Christmas, the first time ever, I'm going to feel great. And 1st of January, I'm like, let's go. Not because you're hanging on to fucking dear life for some crazy plan, because we're helping the men that I work with. And what I've been banging on about this whole thing is getting your habits, behaviors together. And so the real hack for surviving silly season is ensuring that you thrive year round, and then you can run into silly season and enjoy yourself and fill your boots. Another one that came off the back of this, how to exercise and train consistently during the festive season. And I'm just going to echo what I just said there. Let's say you wake up, you've had a really late night out with a load of clients, you got in super late, kids have got you up early, or you know the kids are going to get up and you've got a condensed amount of time to maybe say exercise. Well, just do less. Right? So I've got time to go to the gym like I normally would. Well, don't. Could you do 10 push-ups when you get out of bed? Yeah, do that then. So you have got time to exercise. 10 push-ups and throw yourself under a shower. Is it perfect? No. Is it better than fuck all? Of course it is. Will it make you feel a bit better? Blow the cobwebs out, freshen you up? Of course it will. So, and again, just to repeat myself, it's the same practice and how we'd apply it elsewhere in life. Oh, I'm really, really busy. I've had to work super late, and then the kids are up in the night, so I've got little sleep, so I'm knackered, so I've got up a bit late, and I've only got 5 minutes. What did you do? Doesn't matter if it's fucking Christmas or June. It's the same approach, right? Now, of course, I think underneath this, we want to start building out some nice regular habits around exercise that are consistent. Maybe the gym, maybe longer workouts at home, maybe runs, whatever your, jiu-jitsu in my case. That's all great. It's not always possible. And Christmas might impact that, but life will often impact that. And so it's like, well, what do we do? And so the narrative usually is, I ain't got time. Is that true? More often than not, it isn't. And so that's how you do it consistently when things are busy and things are going on. It's like, what's the minimum dose you need to do? Well, just do that. Is it perfect? No. Is it better than fuck all? Always. So what are the core habits and hacks for silly season? Well, like I just said, there aren't really any. They're the same habits that we would build all year round. And they're applied in exactly the same way. There isn't a hack. There is no hack. There isn't a hack for life, is there? We all know that, right? But if you've got a multitude of habits and behaviors sitting behind you, the little 1%, right, that are taking care of you, well, then as a sum product of you having your habits, behaviors together, be that with exercise, be that with nutrition, be that with your balance, how you think, how you manage your time, your stress, well, then as emergent property, you'll show up and feel great. You apply them in Christmas as well. Now, if there's more indulgence, it's a bit busy and more hectic at Christmas, some of those might be a bit less. We might not be able to apply as much time as we typically would, but that's okay. It's still the same stuff. It just means it's going to be reduced. And then it might reduce how you feel a little bit because you've been overindulgent. But again, as I've already said, that's okay. There is no special thing. It's all the same stuff applied in the same way. It doesn't change. Like when you go on holiday, for example, guys might start working with me. Oh, look, I've got a holiday coming up. What do we do whilst you're on holiday? Well, should we wait until after? It's like, no. Well, in your life in the future, I hope you're probably going to have some holidays in the future, right? Yeah, of course I am. Well, the stuff we do isn't just stop, it's apply it appropriately for what's going off in life. And on a holiday, some of the things that we do day to day, quote unquote, BAU, when you're just normal life, might not be the same, or they'll be adapted or a bit different, and that's okay. But it's the same stuff. And then we pivot back to a normal operating mode. Exactly the same at Christmas. There's no difference. It's the same stuff. There is no secret sauce, right? It's the same stuff applied, just given what's going on. And that's also what all this is about as well, is just being resilient to what life presents you with. Christmas is a fun time. And if your old habits have been Christmas, you go absolutely hell for leather and you feel like death at the end of it, and you're always going, oh God, why did it go so hard? Well, here's a great opportunity to show yourself you can apply things differently. Yeah. As simple as a little bit of consistent exercise in the morning, getting up and doing something, even if you're hungover as fuck. Throw yourself under a cold shower and blow the cobwebs out, because trust me, that works. Like some simple little practical things, you just do that consistently. That can be enough to keep you on an even keel and feeling okay about yourself. And again, being intentional around how we drink, the nights out that we have, and recognizing it doesn't have to be always all the time. What do I get my clients to do every silly season? Everything I've just said. It's the same stuff all the time, applied in the same way. Now, during literally Boxing Day and Christmas Day, we probably all eat miles more than we normally would and drink miles. Again, like I said, 1 or 2 days in isolation do not fucking matter if Outside of that, you got your shit together. And like, if you have got your shit together, it doesn't matter. And a client of mine, let's say one of the clients that they want to lose weight, that's part of what they're doing. They might jump on the scales on Boxing Day and go, fucking hell, I'm 2 kilos heavier. They don't worry about that. A, because they know they've got the shit together and it'll take care of themselves and the normal habits are fine anyway. But B, the very practical thing of like stepping on the scales and seeing your weight increase by 2 kilos, all they know that is a load of water because they've ate more, drank more. And in doing so, your body retains more water. To gain 2 kilos of fat overnight, you would have to eat an extra 20,000 calories. Now, to be fair, that's maybe possible on Christmas Day, but it'd be a good fucking nudge. So if it hasn't, and you haven't eaten that much, well, that's not what's happened. And so the guys I work with, they're not worried about jumping around and oscillating between weights, whatever else. They're on a path, they know what they need to do. And for most of them, not all, weight loss is a thing, but they also know that that's just a byproduct of them making core foundational changes to the habits and behaviors that they want built into their life so they show up as they want. So when they look at the scales on Boxing Day or the day after and they've gone heavy, they're like, we don't care, we just crack on doing what we're doing. And why do they do that? Because the stuff that they do and the habits and behaviors make them feel good. They like it. It's not some horrible thing that they don't need to do. So what my clients do over silly season is exactly the same as they do it all year round, just applied and relaxed slightly differently. Just to hammer that point home, if you have your shit together year round, you don't need to worry about Christmas. And that's the point, right? The main point for this thing is silly season is silly season. It should be fun. It should be enjoyed. You should indulge. You should enjoy yourself. Who the fuck am I to tell you what to do? Do whatever the fuck you want. But if you're the sort of person that ends the Christmas season feeling like death, belly hanging over your trousers, committing to something hard and horrible in January because this year's the new year, and you know it's never going to fucking happen because it never does, I would challenge it's a good opportunity to change your thinking and how you approach your life, not in Christmas, mate, all year round. And actually look at what you're doing day to day, year round versus what's happening in silly season. Because actually you address and look after that and build up habits, behaviors around exercise, around your mindset, around physical and mental well-being, how you're showing up in your life, how you're managing your stress, how you're managing your work-life balance. You address that year round systemically and you have that together, you don't need to worry about Christmas. You just roll into Christmas, enjoy it, have fun, relax, indulge, and crack on again because you're resilient to what you need to do in order to look after yourself. And so that's the core message. And if you're looking at the start of silly season, shitting yourself because you know it's going to be, well, now you've got an opportunity to change that. There's a few key points here you can start to think about and address. And that's the core thing. Don't worry about Christmas. Relax, indulge, and enjoy yourself. And if you've got your shit together, you don't need to worry about it because it'll take care of yourself. You'll walk around looking and feeling as you want. There's an emergent property of having that shit together, right? And then, yeah, you have some indulgence, no big deal. And to be totally clear, that's exactly what I help with, not just at Christmas, year round. So, I mean, if you do want to start your year feeling like Batman, your best, and actually not having a new year, new me bullshit, making some changes that last forever, like the gents that I work with, and if you've watched this video, you'll have seen some of those things. These are guys that I work with 2, 3, 4 years after the fact, still thriving, still feeling good, excited about Christmas because they're not going to be a fat bastard, overindulge, and actually going to show up and enjoy themselves. That's exactly what I can help with. So if you're interested in having a chat, see how I can help you both now and in the new year, thrive and show up as your best and not worry about Christmas or worry about your own physical and mental well-being again for the future, drop me a note in the comments, message Blueprint, and I can help you thrive year round. On that note, have a fantastic Christmas. If you like this video, give it a like or drop a note in the comments. And yeah, happy Merry Christmas.